What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Money Mondays, episode 2 of 3. And I appreciate you guys joining me today. What you just saw was the biggest check of my real estate investing career. So $23,000, the biggest check I ever closed to date with my real estate investing career. Still, I closed that in December of 2019. So it's not the most important check of my real estate investing career. That'll come to you guys next week. But this is one of the most important checks of my career because, oh shoot, oh, it's a cicada. If you don't know what a cicada is, go look them up. They blind, they just run into you just like that. All right, but it's one of the most important checks of my real estate investing career because that was the check that allowed me and my girlfriend at the time to move from Cincinnati to Scottsdale, Arizona, where I currently live at now. So I closed that deal about 4 days, after I moved in. So it was already, cemented that it'll close. You know how that works. Took the buyer about 2 weeks to close on it. He had a loan that he was getting on the property. Worked it out where he ended up needing a little more time, so it ended up taking him about 2.5 weeks to close, but it was perfect timing. I got into my place, got everything furnished, and it put us in a position where I could move comfortably. For me, it was the first time where, although I was moving at the time that it was already closed, it was my first virtual check that I had received. So I received money wires before, but not while I was just actually out of town. Hey, if you don't know what cicadas are, this is what the shells look like. Look at that. It's wild. It's wild. And it's a little hot and muggy out here in Cincinnati as well. Let me go ahead and tell y'all this though. So again, the biggest check, but not the most important. But the reason why I'm sharing it with you guys as one of the most important checks is because it allowed me to relocate from Cincinnati, Ohio to Scottsdale, Arizona, where I wanted to live at. So I'm a big proponent of if you can have it your way, you should not, where you live at should not determine, where you work at. So just because you live in one place doesn't mean you have to work in the place that you live at. I'm a big proponent of that. And that is like officially, this check allowed me to get on the path to, get to Arizona, to be able to discover, okay, I've already done it virtually because I didn't go visit the houses, but now I'm thousands of miles away. So even if I had to, go somewhere, even if I had to, I never wanted to, but even if I had to go meet the seller, I couldn't. So that check put me in a position where I was okay when I had to figure out, exactly to work this virtual wholesale side of things. So that's the same thing I'm teaching you guys in Cold Call to Success. Everything that I've learned from how to make my business 100% virtual, I learned because I was able to get a decent, check. Being the biggest check of my career at $23,000, I was able to get that check and not be in a rush, not being feeling like I'm desperate for money or anything like that. I was able to get myself, set up. My girl at the time, she had time to, find her job, and it was not any pressure on her to go and work a little dead-end job or anything like that. So she had time to find a job that she wanted. I had time to develop my business. So the big thing about this, guys, is that if you're going to move out somewhere, if you're going to relocate, make sure you have money put away. So I already have money enough for put down payment in the condo and move into the condo and things like that. But that check, like I said, it helped me not be fishing for money, not be swimming around, okay, I need to get money. So that put me in that position and also helped me really cement on how am I going to work this whole thing virtually. I had the experience because I never would go and visit the properties because of my script that I shared with you guys in Cold Call to Success. I was developing that script, and I knew I did not want to live in Cincinnati, Ohio, so I'm not going to make my business dependent on me being in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's just something I knew from the start. So when I got to Scottsdale, I had to really, hone in on my techniques on how to still make my income, come in reoccurrently without it ever depending on me, even if I had to. So there were certain times where I would make an exception because I, had to. The seller just wanted to meet in person, or nobody else was available to take pictures or anything like that. I had to. But when I got to Scottsdale, even if I had to, I couldn't. So that check right there put me in a position where I was able to really turn down people. So if they were saying, I don't feel comfortable meeting with you, it was like, okay, or I would, you know, make certain phone calls, and it taught me how to be more of a business owner with my wholesaling business, to be able to make certain phone calls and connections and make, hey, can you go meet this person? Can you go do this deal? Or can you go do this for me? Can you go do that? And obviously taking care of my team members, but it put me in that mind state already versus being, you know, just completely a self-employed individual that has to fully work for themselves and everything. I was able to employ other people, bring team members. I like to refer to my employees or whatever as team members, because everybody's, you know, a team. We make this run together. So I was able to put me in that position just by, you know, having that check to set me up comfortably where I wasn't in need to go and rush somewhere and do something right away, you know, just for the money. So guys, this was the biggest check of my real estate investing career. Although not the most important, it is one of the most important ones. And the way you can get you a $23,000 check, I closed this when I was 21 years old. If you're familiar with my journey, I'm 22 now. It took me 9 months to get my first deal with real estate investing. I started in 2018. I closed my first deal in February of 2019. So I was 20 years old at the time when I closed my first deal. My first deal was $4,000. I quit my 9-to-5 job at JD Byrather, where I was a car detailer, and I still like cleaning cars to this day. My car be spick and span, baby, spick and span. That being said though, with me being able to, you know, quit my job and continue my journey, I had, you know, $4,000 check here, $5,000 check here, $3,000 check here, you know, $2,000. I even had $800 checks, but that money, you know, piled up. But my $17,000 was my first big one. Go and watch last week, Money Monday. That was my first big check. And then, you know, 2 months later, I ended up getting the $23,000 check. And it's ironic, it's ironic because a couple of, you know, weeks prior to that, you know, I had visited Scottsdale. I saw that I wanted to live there, and I ended up telling myself like, hey, in order for me to feel comfortable to just completely move, I need to get like a $20,000 wholesale deal, then I'll be comfortable. Kid you not, guys, about 2 weeks later, the circumstances came about where I sold this property before my buyer even went in there, and I already had the initial walkthrough scheduled. So usually, you know, I don't sign anything, but he wanted just one inspection, so it was pending the initial walkthrough. So I already had it set up. I sold it without even having pictures of it. I got it at $97,000, sold it at $120,000. And it was an assignment fee, so I didn't have to double close on it because the buyer was cool. He just wanted it for himself to resell. There was a lot of equity in the property. And yeah, as you know, 2.5 weeks later, I ended up getting my my wire. So guys, that's the story of my biggest wholesale deal. I really manifested it. I set an intention. I wanted to move. I told the universe I needed $20,000 plus. They gave me that weeks after, and I was out and I was, you know, moving. I didn't think twice about it, guys, either. I didn't want it. My lease was coming up in December, so I was like, I don't want to stay here in Cincinnati and get even more grounded, like buy more furniture, get more grounded into where I'm at. I'd rather just go somewhere else and, you know, quote unquote, start over. But now I'm in, you know, Cincinnati, Ohio, visiting. Little sis graduating today. It's a great day. And now I'm thinking about relocating. I'm thinking about relocating next to some water. I want to be able to open, like, wake up on the ocean, not the, you know, lake water. I'm really thinking about ocean water. If you guys got any recommendations on, you know, what type of ocean water I should go to, I want that, you know, bluish, little green tint ocean water, preferably more blue than green. I want to go to that. That's what I'm thinking about relocating next when my lease is up in Arizona, Scottsdale. Nothing against Arizona. I spent, you know, 2.5 years there, about 2 years there. I think like it was December of 2019 until, actually I ain't telling y'all when I'm moving, but it's coming up soon though. So I'm thinking about relocating, and you know, let me know if y'all got some recommendations. As always, baby, get the step in. And the way you get the step in is go ahead, click the link under this and pre-order Cold Call to Success. And if you're watching this any other time, you go ahead and order Cold Call to Success, the course where I share with you guys all of my experience over 2.5 years of full-time real estate investing. I share with you everything you need to know to make your business completely virtual, to not ever have to set foot in the property yourself, and you can close deals from anywhere in the world. So I share with you guys that information, and on top of that, I share with you all common seller pushbacks, everything you need to know. Anything you need to know, I got it for you in Cold Call to Success, baby. As always, get the stepping.